intellectual person I met, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really, we have something in common. And yesterday I end up, searching to socialize in Ravenna, someone local, and really I found a very beautiful person here.
Thank you.
He is Paolo from
Yeah.
Ravenna, and he's sharing very interesting facts of his life and journey from where he began and how he transformed, how he changed his life from, one stream to the other streamline. It's so wonderful to hear. I mean, I thought he's a scorpion, but he's not because I did that. I changed a lot of streams and, searching for something, curious for something. And ultimately, we are lover of emotions, especially me and even Paolo. That, good to know that he went to London, he came back to Italy for the emotions and liveliness. And now we're going to talk about his life. We have missed to record before, but sorry, but now we are summarizing for you guys. So Paulo, this is your turn, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to
Maybe
to
just
summarize what I
summarize,
said?
yeah,
Yeah, this
maybe
is the story
I can't,
of a guy who grew up in a very, let's say, far away town, which is Ravenna.
Okay.
Do you need something? Stop it.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm searching, maybe
the story of someone who grew up here in a forgotten town, which used to be the last capital of the Roman Empire, but that has been forgotten later. And then I moved to several cities, and I ended up living in London. Being in London is an interesting experience if you have been. London is probably the most interesting capital I have ever visited. And I love London, sorry.
Yeah.
I love London, but after a while, if you are someone who loves the colors, you need to leave London. Because if you live there, then you end up seeing your colors fading away. I think it's a matter of the weather. It's because of the culture, which is a Nordic culture, and I'm very respectful and I admire what they do. But I'm Italian, and as an Italian, I really need emotions. And when I say I need emotions, I really mean it. And so when I realized that living in London meant losing my emotions and my way to, well, everything was rationalized. Everything is rational. Do you realize? Can we say this? It's about sex.
Yeah, example, like you go into the very, happening modern country where you end up in a position that you forget about feeling the emotions, like small emotions. So that's how he felt, when he went to London. For example, it's like sex, you having sex but you're not enjoying it, or you're not having,
no, because you have to be drunk to do it.
Yeah, you
People
have to be
there-
drunk, or you have to be so unnaturalistic
Exactly.
to enjoy the flavor of sex or food, even
Or
food.
good emotion. Everything that
Yeah,
has
everything.
big emotion.
Even even breathing. This is all for different aspects which comes in breathing, taking fresh air, but you don't feel the air. Yesterday I was talking to you, right? If you remember in my video yesterday, you need to feel what is there around you. If you're not able to feel, guys, you are missing so much. If you're missing, I mean, if you say that, why I have to go to beach today, what is there in the beach? That's a stupid question and
No,
answer.
it's a very interesting question.
Yeah, no, I mean, question is interesting, but answer, like someone says, why should I go to beach? Because I'm wasting my time. Come on.
And what
I
is
would
your time
say-
should be dedicated to then?
Yeah.
To make money? What, to count?
Yes, of course you must count, but not in
Not
a
only.
wrong way.
And
Yeah,
not
not
only.
only. Because you should touch the soil, and if you're not doing that, it's stupidity again. And if you say that, no, my kids shouldn't go in the rain, that is so strange for me, really. I'm not super Indian, but I would say that is important, When I was a kid, my parents never stopped me playing in the rain. Do you agree with that? Okay, I guess. If no, then definitely you're missing. So that is what he he said that, Paulo
About
said,
London.
about the feelings. You
Yes.
lose the feelings, value value for action, or maybe
Hmm.
the art, or maybe anything.
But then there is a more important step than this,
What is that?
because okay, we have a rational dimension, we have a feeling dimension, emotional dimension, but there is a deeper one. And when I was telling her that, then I was a journalist. I was working as a journalist for a long time. Then I gave up everything to be a mental coach, a full-time mental coach. But then I realized that that dimension, that instrument was not good to explore the dimension I was more interested in, which is the, let's say, it's difficult to define it, but shall we call that the mystical dimension?
Yeah.
And that's why I gave up everything for art. So I'm a poet at the end. My
Wow.
art begins with poetry and ends with poetry.
Lovely.
But in 2014, I gave up everything and I started this search. And but I realized that that poetry needs spaces to be expressed, because we're not living in the Gutenberg era anymore. So the book is fine. I've written 33 books, but not one of poetry.
Oh.
No, I've
Oh.
written
Oh,
essays, non-fictional, but not a book of poems yet, at least.
wow. What was your interesting book? He wrote 33 books
Mm.
as of now, and
And some of them have been translated
sold it very,
into
I mean, how many?
140,000 around.
140,000. It's quite good number, right? Yeah. So, what's your favorite book?
Mine? No, you can't ask a father who's your favorite son. I can't.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow, that's
my
a good
favorite,
answer. I mean, he loves all of
my
them.
favorite book is the one I'm writing now. I'm writing a book about the devil, because I realize, well, when you say devil in the Western world, you're talking about evil.
Uh-huh.
I know that for Hindus it's very different. Because if I ask you, what is the god of evil? Is there one god of evil? And is there a,
Yeah.
which one?
God of Evil is maybe there. We have Ravanas.
Only one?
We have different, but yes,
Different ones.
we have one which is more famous. Like for us, devil is something which, the negative power, who drags for the negative things, who doesn't do in a right way. What is that right way? Is like honesty. Our book Hinduism is based on honesty, karma. Because what you do, you will get in. Something like that. And we have devil too. Devil Ravanas is, we consider him as devil because he always hampers people's life and something.
And
like
what
that.
is the relation with the other gods?
What is the relationship? He fights with the other gods, and
He
there
fights
is no
with the
good
gods.
relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the original, when the Jewish and the Christian thought about devil, it was simply the left hand of God. If you're in a
No.
monotheistic idea, then good and bad are part of the whole.
World.
And so both things are necessary,
Necessary.
and so you have to cope with both of them. So this was the very beginning. I don't quote all the scriptures, but then in the Christian
Wow.
era,
I didn't know this one.
yes, but that was the original. But
No,
then
but
in the
yeah.
Christian era, what happened? That people started to think about the devil as something that fights against God, like in polytheism. I mean, Hinduism, but in this way, the Western world has changed shape, and we have arrived to the idea that is nowadays, if you talk to many youngsters, young people here, they cannot admit, they cannot cope with evil.
Yeah.
If you talk, I come closer, so
Yeah,
you're
sure.
both in.
Yeah, I want to do that. Actually, we both
No,
in
it's
so
fine.
that
It's fine. But if you talk to a young person in the Western world nowadays, probably they cannot admit the existence of evil. So, if for example you simply don't, I come closer.
maybe, yeah.
If I simply don't
Yeah, this is wonderful.
smile at you as the day before, I do it extreme. I do it extreme. If you don't smile as the day before, then they are so sad that they go to a psychologist, because they cannot cope with the idea that there is also evil and that the world is also evil. And this is a huge problem for the Western world.
So they don't agree to the evil power, and
They don't agree to the existence. They cannot
Existence.
accept the
They can't
existence of
accept.
this. And this thing has very deep roots. And the history of art, of the Western art,
yeah.
can tell you how this has been shaped in the minds of people. And so the very first depiction of the devil, which by the way is in this city in Ravenna, the very first depiction of the devil of the Jewish Christian tradition is here.
Wow,
It's
really?
from the 5th century, done by a Gothic god, the Gothic king, Theodoric. And from that moment to the pre-Raphaelites, or in, let's say, Fuseli and the romantic idea of devil is good. And nowadays we have, oh, there is an helicopter.
Yeah.
And nowadays we have this idea that all the heroes are somehow shaped as devils, because all the heroes on Netflix and so on, they are bad. I mean, they tend not to be real heroes but anti-heroes.
What does it mean? I didn't get here. Why
If
we
it,
are
this is
talking about
because of
Netflix?
Byron. This is because of Byron. When Lord Byron did the so-called, come on,
Even the sweet thing.
it's a hospital.
Oh yeah.
They went to pick someone. So when Lord Byron wrote all this stuff, and the Manfred and all these things, well, it transformed what was before the Western hero, which was shaped on let's say, the ancient Greek ones. So they did great acts of honesty, sacrifice, and so on. Then it took the Miltons, Paradise Lost Milton. They took Milton's devil, which was the rebel, to be the new hero. So nowadays, every hero, if you watch Netflix, you see a good hero is a rebel hero. Is rebelling against something.
Okay.
He's a revolutionary. It's also
Okay.
because of the French Revolution and so on.
Okay.
And so we
He
ended
has to
up
fight for something.
exactly. We ended up to transform the devil from the left hand of God to the god of evil to the new hero. You understand what is the Western world? It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. He says it's a mess.
I mean, if I think I don't know so much about India enough to
Yeah,
talk about,
India has
but I know
changed
that
a
you.
lot.
Yes, but I also
Not
know
like
that
before.
you
India
have,
has
but
changed
you
a
have a
lot.
religion that dates back to millenniums before
Maybe.
Christ, and it's still the same. So there is something that certainly something has changed, but at least the fundamental is the same. The Western
Yeah.
world is changing so quickly, and so I don't know what the future will be here.
For me, what I think is even India is changing a lot nowadays because of the American culture, and I mean,
Oh,
like, yeah,
you said the point. The
it's
Americans.
yeah, and
Is there an American following? No.
yeah, maybe I will just Sanjay. Hi, Sanjay. These are time to join Geneva's cult. Ha 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 ha. Red remember
Jehovah's
blood.
cult.
Tasty to drink. Yummy. What is that? Add as moderator Sanjay Rawat. I don't know.
Jehovah's cult. What is Jehovah's cult? The Jehovah's Witnesses, like? What do you
Maybe,
mean?
yeah.
Or do you call Jehovah Jesus?
Maybe.
No,
We need to ask him.
Not Jesus, but the Father.
Suzanne.
Oh, a lot of people.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Curious about things going on in the world.
Yeah, good.
All right. You can also add your points here,
Yeah, good.
so that it would be, super interactive. So red, remember blood, what is that? Tasty to drink, yummy. What is that?
What? Time to join Jehovah's cult?
Time to join Jehovah's cult.
Jehovah's cult. Jehovah is one of the name of God the Father. Red, remember blood. Red, what does it mean?
I didn't know. I really don't know. Could you please elaborate for us? We didn't understand.
I'm honored, but why? Not sure what it is. But anyhow,
You're
so
honored, but
the
okay,
thing
we
is,
will
what
go back to, yeah.
you know what is the point? The point for me is that poetry is already saving the world. And I do challenge Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky wrote that beauty will save the world. Now, I do think that beauty is already saving the world. And poetry for me, it's the
So wonderful.
straightest way to express beauty.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you go in the contemporary artistic circles, if you talk about beauty, you're banned. You cannot talk about beauty anymore. I mean, but art without beauty is like a religion without God or gods.
Yeah.
It's useless.
Yeah.
And so contemporary art has been poisoned. It doesn't work anymore. And there is a big challenge for whoever wants to save the world through poetry and art. And you know what? I was saying that my poetry my motto is poetry everywhere. And so I write poems on the walls, on the matter. I do mosaics with poetry.
Wow,
And
mosaic.
yes,
Ravenna is very famous for
yeah,
mosaic.
that's why I'm doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
I perform also body painting poetry. I write poems on the skin of people.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because
Really?
I dare
How
say
does
that.
it work? I mean,
Well,
like you write with what? I mean, what do you
well,
use
I
actually?
dare say that I can grasp the inner verses that we all have inside. Walt Whitman said, "Then you may contribute a verse." That means that we all have verses inside. So I say I can grasp those verses by talking, and then if you recognize the person recognize them, then I can, as a psychomagic act or a shamanic act, I can write on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done more than 200 and
Wow.
more people.
Wow.
Yes, I've performed in
Super
important places
interesting.
like in
So,
the.
what happens if you write on their body? Does it change
Well, it's
how they
like.
feel, or
Well,
is?
I think so. It's like being new, making the soul nude, because those verses belong to the soul of the people,
Uh-huh.
but the soul is inside, and you show part of the soul. So it's like being really nude.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And yes, that's something I really like. And then I also founded a movement, Poetry Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has
Wow.
become in a few years. It has become the main poetry network in Italy. I ran some poetry awards.
Wow.
Oh, a few weeks ago, 1 month ago.
Maybe I must come. Maybe I must visit you.
Yeah, we should found a branch in India.
Yeah,
And
that would be really amazing.
last month, I hosted here the Nobel winner, lost Jon Fosse. He won the Nobel last year, the literature.
Lovely.
Yeah. It's working very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do really think that from starting from this place, which is a very, let's say, how could I define? It's a peripheral place.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to save the world is a good challenge.
Yeah.
Now I'm planning to
Back
move.
to those olden magical values.
But I'm planning to move at least for half a year. I'd like to spend half of the year around here and the other half somewhere else.
Somewhere else. I have decided that already. I'm going to stay here 6 months and
6 months in India.
Because I can't live
That's
India
the solution.
because India is like
But
energy
now
for me.
we live in a world that is very easy. Just a
Yeah.
flight, you have to pay the ticket, it's fine.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to Southeast Asia. I'm going to Macau, Hong Kong, and the Philippines and
Wow,
Vietnam.
take me,
Huh?
take me in your bag.
I'm going because they are giving me an award, an important award from a foundation,
Lovely.
a Chinese
Ask
foundation.
them if they have also, assistant,
Yeah.
someone,
We
if they
can, we can,
sponsor.
we can talk. We can talk.
Yeah,
about it.
you can do that. Actually, one of my friend, he's from Taiwan.
Taiwan.
I met him in Marco Museum, which is in Rome, if you know, which is nearby after Sapienza University, if you guys are anyone from Italy. Policlinico.
Where are you from, my brother? I'm from Italy,
He's from Italy.
and she's from
I'm
half
from-
Italy and half India.
Yeah, half India, half Italy.
But she's from you're from India.
Yeah,
But now
I'm
you
from
are.
yeah, of course. No, I'm living here. Not half of, but
But maybe
I'm
I'm from India too somehow. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know.
he's from India.
Maybe I don't know.
Yes, you are. So
Un paesano. Sei
Paesano.
italiano pure te.
del mondo. I am from mondo.
No, I'm not. I'm from
You're
the
not?
stars.
Oh, I usually say when someone asks me, I don't want to be super. I don't want to say I'm Indian. Because it sounds like so egoistic that
Why egoistic?
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I
Where-
want to
where-
say
where were you
from.
born?
No, because
fine.
there is a concept behind this. Why I don't want to really say one particular place, because you feel like you racism to others. So I end up saying I'm from this world. So
Well,
everybody is my family.
Yeah,
Everyone is.
of course I understand you. I
I
see the
love
world
that.
from the skies, so the differences are very tiny.
Yeah.
But but at the same time, differences
Sometimes
exist.
like-
I mean,
yeah,
I
differences.
like differences. I like the mosaics,
I
and you
like
cannot make a
differences.
mosaic with the tiles that are all the same. It's a horrible mosaic. A mosaic that's all white. What kind of a mosaic is that? You need different colors.
Different colors.
And
yeah,
different.
yeah.
But the problem is that we keep on shouting a word that came up from the French Revolution: égalité, equality. But I don't believe in equality. I believe in difference.
Difference.
We should shout difference. May the gods protect difference.
Yeah.
I mean, in this world there are
Accepting
people.
people
But there are
different-
people. I mean, in this world there are people like, I don't know, the billionaires that I met in Monaco, from them to the Agori.
Uh,
So different kind of people, and they
different
all
kind
have
of people,
something
and
to
you
say.
must accept it. You can say that no, no. I mean, like everyone is different in their own world, in their own shell, and with different flavors.
Someone is asking, Lucky is asking, are you friends? I think so.
Yeah, we are
We are
friends.
becoming friends.
Yeah.
We have already become, I think.
Yeah, we are friends. I mean, like
We have met.
since yesterday we don't know each other, but today after we met, we have something in common, is
Yeah.
emotion. When he said that, I am really connected to him. Yeah, maybe if he would have not said that emotional word, maybe I'm like not that much, but yes, I like people who are emotional, who really lives with emotions. That's important end of the day. You
Yes.
know?
And so let's save the world.
With your goodness.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's interesting
No, but
actually.
we have to talk about this. This, I mean, I think that nothing happened by chance. And if we met, there is a reason, and we have to explore this reason. I think
Yeah.
it's an exploration through emotion and through the brain, because also the brain works, huh? Because only emotion. I think that a key word for the world nowadays is balance.
Yeah.
What we have lost is balance.
Yeah, I always say this one too. Even I
Balance.
spoke in my last video.
Mm.
I spoke this word balance,
Balance is
everything you
crucial.
have, yeah, very crucial to be happy. You need balance. If you eat more, you vomit.
Exactly. And if
You know?
you eat nothing, you're starving.
Yeah,
So the
so
balance,
balance is very important in everything.
even between emotion and the brain.
Exactly.
I spent a long period of my life just in the brain. I know what it means. I spent a big period of my life only in emotions, and I know what I mean. Now I'm trying to find the balance.
Yeah, you need to find the balance, otherwise it's useless. It's useless for sure. You can, for example, you can't say that the God will save me and I'm going to pray every day and I'm not going to work, I'm not going to I'm not going to do nothing. Then it doesn't work. This is the reality. So you need to balance. You need to trust in energy and take the energy and spread the positivity to with others. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, but
That's what
matters.
matters.
I think I need a lesson from you.
Me?
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yes.
He gave lesson to some a lot of people.
Oh, I used to lecture for long, huh?
Hey, and you love that, and you gave lecture
Maybe
to
I
many
will
people.
again.
Wow.
Maybe once I will again. But
Yeah.
I need a lecture from you.
From me,
Yes.
wow.
About
I'm
a lot of things, but I would start with the Indian gods.
Indian gods. Heavy topic.
No, no.
Okay, I will try. Go.
What is there a
Because
boss?
boss are three,
Shiva.
like Shiva, Lord Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu.
Mm.
Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. These
What is
three
the
gods
one
are
that is
like
blue?
what is it? Blue?
That
Shiva.
Shiva, because he
Shiva.
drank poison. Is that like?
Yes, it's like that. Yeah.
But what is the story?
Lord Shiva is having,
Can you say the
power.
name again?
Lord Shiva.
Large.
Lord.
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 Ah.
God.
Okay, so
God,
it
Lord.
is like a lord.
Lord. Lord Shiva. So Shiva has power to give birth and kill. I mean, take.
Mm.
So death and birth is in his hands.
Wow.
In his hands. He will decide when you're gonna die, when you're gonna rebirth.
Can you negotiate?
Maybe you
I mean,
can
are
pray.
there prayers or
Yeah.
things to negotiate?
Yeah.
So you can negotiate with him
And
to
even
live longer or shorter.
not exactly, because those are decided by him, but negotiation I'm not sure. But karma, that depends on him. Maybe he can help with karma. That is like you have done something wrong and you can fix with doing something good. Or for example, people who always they are good, suddenly they feel like meeting with accident, and maybe they are having bad times. What are those?
About cult like Scientology or Testimony of Jehovah, what do you think about it, guys? Oh, he's talking about modern sects.
Modern sex?
Well, I tell you, may I say one thing?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Because I've studied religion for most of my life, and most of my books are about this. And that's why I'm very interested in asking about Indian gods. Hindu gods. How would you say Hindu gods? It's
Yeah,
better.
Hindu god. Yeah.
But I tell you, since I discovered art and poetry, I think I'm not a religious person anymore. My idea is that religions and art have the same goal, which is trying to translate into an understandable language the ununderstandable, the mystery, what you cannot put in words.
Yeah.
The difference is that religion becomes, let's say, a structured thing. It becomes something also that gives identity. Art, no. So you can try to find what religions call God or gods through art without saying me and you, us and them. So you don't have a sense of belonging, which is a loss, but also a gain. A gain of freedom and a loss of identity. So this is my position. And modern cults like the Scientologists and these things, well, they tend to be us and them. It's just that. They have a strong sense of belonging, and so there is in and out. If you're in, then you're part of the community, and if you're out, then you are like a sinner or something like that. But, well, this is what I think. Then for the rest, I don't want to talk about. I mean, if we talk about the theology of Scientology, then it becomes hilarious.
For me, what I think about religion, all this is like, there is a catchy point here. I love, you know, connecting to Hinduism for sure, but I'm not religious. How would I say this one?
I think I'm on the same track.
Interesting, right? I love Hinduism, but I'm not religious-tic, you know, like super religious. What does it mean is, what is spirituality and religion? Religion comes second, you know. Religion is a way, is a knowledge showing you to choose a right path. You know, everybody, we are human beings. We are not, you know, super nice, or, you know, sometimes we end up doing some mess. That's okay. You know, we are human beings. So religion is something which is making you, you know, take a right path. However, you know, people have really taken in a wrong way, and, you know, they guided in a wrong, you know, way. That's correct, if I'm not wrong, because they took a religion.
That's your opinion.
Religion, yeah,
it's correct for sure.
Really, they took a religion as a base and manipulated the brains of the people. They took religion as a mode to, you know, suffocate, or to, you know, tighten, or to
It's an
not,
instrument of power.
for me, yeah. And more now, it's more political. I don't want to talk about that much. Maybe if you're intelligent, you will understand what I'm talking. Religion
Because
is a
this is very
mode.
strong in India, right?
Yeah. So religion is just a mode to transform yourself into goodness. So when I talk about, you know, spirituality,
It's
I
something
would
else.
say just question yourself. Spirituality is everything is in your, you know, in your heart. So, you know, it's all about what you want and
But
what,
you know what?
yeah.
In the Western world,
Ask yourself,
people don't
spirituality.
care much about religion anymore.
No,
In the
I
Western
would
world,
say religion. I'm not much into religionistic person, but I'm more into, you know, spiritual. Spiritual is connecting yourself to the nature.
I say I'm
You
an
know?
artist. For me,
Yeah.
that's enough. Or
Yes.
a poet.
So for me, maybe everybody has their own way to connect, you know, like maybe I will connect myself to nature. Some people, they might connect to, you know, habits, you know, everyday habits, like everyday waking up, doing some rituals that make you, you know.
It can be useful.
Yeah, it can
Very
be useful.
useful.
That's why I like Hinduism, because Hinduism has taught me very beautiful things that I couldn't, you know, miss that. But however, you need to know the difference between all
So
these things.
I have
you
a
know.
last question. Then we go to have lunch.
Yeah,
Or
sure.
at least I don't know if you want to join.
Okay.
But one last question. If I ask you to associate me with one Hindu god, which one?
Lord Krishna.
It's unbelievable because everyone says this.
Maybe because, you know, you love everyone. Lord Krishna says, you know, love amply, you know, love everyone. And
I asked the same question to a person who's very much into Hinduism a few days ago, and he said, Krishna.
Krishna, why?
He
Because
said Krishna Shiva. Krishna and Shiva.
I would say even Ganesh. Ganesh is also,
Ganesh is the
because
elephant.
for
The elephant Ganesh?
yes, yes.
Ah.
For me, I would like to also reveal this point, because a lot of my friends, like, they were confused. How do you pray, Ganesh? Because Ganesh is an elephant, and how do you pray this?
Do you pray Ganesh?
Yeah, well, that's what I told you. I'm not religious, but I do believe in things, and I do, follow things, because it really means a lot for me. That is, ancient Greek people, even they love, they pray sunlight, they pray plants. I mean, they pray, a lot of gods. They believe into a lot of gods. That is true. You're respecting them, and you're taking them as a vision. Same like that movie, if you have seen that, Forrest Gump.
Sure.
Have you seen? You must see this movie. You must
Yes.
watch this
If
movie.
you haven't, watch it, and if you
Because
have, do it again.
please. So what he did, he's wandering in the forest, and he didn't had any friends, anyone, and he took a football, or maybe I'm taking the goggles and I'm believing this is my inspiration. And if you start believing it, maybe you put it in practice, so that's where the God exists. I don't say that particularly God is there, but my mom used to say God is everywhere. My mom's dialogue. I used to ask her, where is God? Why do you say God? Could you please tell me, where is God? I was wondering, and I didn't get any answer from anyone. But one priest, he was 23 years old in India, very young.
Brahmin.
Yeah, Brahmin. And I asked even old people, but they didn't convince me. Ultimately, Muslims were saying, Allah is the only God. I'm not convinced with that. Christians say only Jesus is the only God. I'm not convinced. Hindus say, Lord Krishna is the only God. I'm not convinced. Sorry, but I'm not convinced.
Don't you think it's just
However,
different names to the same
exactly. However,
nameless thing?
Exactly. When I asked this priest, 23 years old or maybe 25, he was very young, he convinced me a little bit. He told me there are various forms of God and various forms of devotion.
That's the point.
So it convinced me. He convinced me. Actually, it's just saying these two phrases. Yeah, that's true.
But since we live in a very fleshy world and in a very, I think it's time to eat.
Yeah. You want to eat?
Yes.
Let's go. We're gonna
Good. That's been a pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you all.
If you want to, namaste.
Take care.
And if you want, I can give you my website.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Paolo Gambi, but we can write it down.
Even for me, my father is an artist.
Then we talk about it. Let's talk about that. Good.
Yeah.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Everybody, bye. Take care of yourselves.